Hey, shout out to our Facebook followers. It's Friday again, so if you guys follow our virtual tours through our kitchens, you know that a lot of times on Friday we'll post the completion of a project. So here we are again, completing another kitchen. This one here, I think you'll find interest in today because it is a new color that we're offering, a new variation of a color that we've offered in the past, actually. And we think it complements the granite that was chosen for this as well. So you'll see some exceptional taste with respect to color and style and whatnot because our customer was asking for it and they've got great taste. So let me just give you a preface on this. This color is what we would call a semi-opaque stain. It's a stain that you can definitely tell that it's a gray type color, but you can also see the wood through it as well. So I'll give you a close-up of that in a second, and we think it complements the Brazilian granite that's in here. It's actually mountain mist. You guys have seen us highlight that color before, but it's a absolutely beautiful fit for what we have going on here. So let me walk you through the kitchen, show you some of the features in this one that may inspire you in your kitchen project. So let's take a look. You can kind of see the overall layout of the kitchen. It's got a big L-shaped kitchen with an opposing countertop surface and actually some pantries on the other side as well. So we'll get to those in a second. But we're starting off with a pretty generous area right here of countertop space. It's got a wine rack, a couple of lower cabinets with some adjustable shelving in it. We'll follow it around here, and of course near the stove, and you guys have heard me say this before in some of the videos, we call it co-location, which is where we'd like to store things where we plan on using them, right? So it makes sense for us to have a range with some pots and pans drawers, right? But we also, in addition to the pots and pans drawers, we have our Lazy Susan cabinet as well, right? And I know some folks are not huge fans of Lazy Susans, but to be honest with you, it's probably one of the best storage solutions we have for corners because we get a chance to use anywhere between 75 and 80% of that cabinet from a square footage standpoint. We also have something that's flanking the stove on the right-hand side, and that's actually a thin cabinet, which is a cookie sheet cabinet with adjustable shelf in there. So if we had things that you want to store vertically, those fit in that cabinet. That cabinet is actually what size is that? It's a 7-inch cabinet. Of course, right next to it, we've got our usual, trash pull-out, which is a 2-can, right? Double cans in there. So if you want to recycle, you can certainly recycle behind the garbage. Obviously, our sink, with our tip out, right? All those things are kind of standard, soft close, all that stuff. You can see that we've got a composite sink in this one here. It was supplied by the customer. I think it was a great fit, especially with respect to the stone, because you can kind of think about how that black sink plays off nicely off the vein that runs through the countertop. So that vein literally runs right across the countertop and comes out here. You'll even see, you get an opportunity to see one of our seams. We do a book match seam on that. And then it finishes off with more pots and pans drawers. Obviously this hole that's right here is going to be for the dishwasher. So there's no shortage of drawer space in this kitchen. And it's really done in an attempt to make sure that we have a place for everything in your kitchen, right? Because the last thing you want to do is still be going to like the basement or some other place of the house to get things that you would like to have in your kitchen. So with that being in mind as well, we also have some pantry cabinets. You've seen us highlight these before where it's a deep shelf above, adjustable shelving obviously, right? Metal pins, right? So it's not like the cheaper plastic stuff that you might get somewhere else. But with each one of these pantries has got 4 pullouts in them as well, right? So they're the same drawers that we build, the ones that we stand in all the time. So you get 4 in that one, and obviously the same thing in this setup as well. Likewise, all of our drawers all have that soft close feature on it. A full cabinet above the refrigerator. So interesting note about refrigerator cabinet. I've had the question multiple times with people about, well, I don't want a cabinet above the refrigerator. Think about the reason why you don't. It's typically because you don't use it, right? And it's usually because it's a shallow cabinet and you put a bunch of things on top of the refrigerator and you don't use the cabinet because that would require us to clean all the stuff off the top of the fridge, right? So we always do a deep cabinet above the refrigerator. It's something that, the seasonal things that you might not use every day, low frequency items like maybe a punch bowl or really large platters, those are things that could very easily go above that refrigerator. This particular kitchen is going to have a microwave. Instead of being over the stove on this side, they're going to actually put a vent and they're going to put the microwave over here. And a lot of that is just the frequency of use. Like if you're going to use it every meal, you may want it closer to the stove, but if it's just going to be something that's going to be infrequent, then you would put it across the kitchen. Obviously, there's pots and pans drawers there. Of course, adjustable shelves and stuff above. But the neat thing about this kitchen is that it's a newer color for us. It's a variation on red leaf gray. It's actually just a custom color match that we had done by Sherwin-Williams. They do a great job out there. Sarah gets a shout out for that one. They did a great job mixing and matching that color to our customer specifications, and it was just a matter for us to put it on. So as I promised before, I'll show you a close-up of the color. So even though it looks gray and looks kind of opaque, if you look closely, you can actually see the wood grain through it, right? A little closer on that. So you can see the grain in there. Some of the other doors as well, you can kind of see that. But what's neat about that color is it gives the appearance of a painted finish without all the hallmark problems of painted finishes, right? Because painted finishes have a tendency to chip. They eventually discolor. Paint's a good option for some things, but I'm not a big fan of it in a kitchen just because of the durability standpoint. Whatever I make for you, I want it to last for as long as possible. And so sometimes if you put paint on a cabinet, it's easily chipped or it's discolored or damaged, and it's very difficult to touch up. And so when you do a stain or a semi-opaque stain, it might be a better option for you as far as durability. So I know it's very easy to make these videos too long, so I'll cut it off here and kind of make it short. Besides, I'm tired. I want to get home for dinner. But the idea is you get a chance to walk through another one of our kitchens. We post these videos in an effort to let you know what's available so you can be inspired for your own project. Not every kitchen has to be the same, obviously, but if we think about it, most of us are storing things that are very similar to each other in our kitchens because we all shop at the same stores, and we all like to use the same kind of power tools, so to speak, in a kitchen. And so because of that, we just kind of plan for places for them. That's why you're seeing how a custom cabinet many times is going to be a superior solution to a stock cabinet, right? So either way, be inspired in your own project. Hopefully you're enjoying your day, and we'll post another one soon. See ya.